Yes. I want to welcome y'all to the You Wasn't Outside podcast on the Grown Folks Podcast Network. I'm one of your hosts, not doing the most normal ass Carl. To my front, I have my man, the myth, the legend, the runner,
and
the runner, Lex. Just Lex, man. Oh man. So how you been, bro? Like. So talk to me. I don't even want to hit you with the casual like how you been podcast question. So you ran.
I ran.
Because I thought for sure that you were watching the Steeler game. I even told my wife, I was like, yo, they canceled it or something. Because he's like, oh, I still get to watch the game. And I was like, yo, I thought he was watching the Steeler game this whole time. So you actually went.
Well, yeah, they got snowed out. They got pushed to Monday.
Oh, that's what you was meaning then. Okay. Yeah. I was moving that time.
Plus, by the time I finished, I would have been able to watch the game anyway. If I would have came here right away, then yeah.
Hindsight, it could have been something you could have missed, though.
Hey, man.
Hindsight. Just say hindsight. So, how was it? This is your... So, wait, tell us what you did. Who was the people that threw the event, all that.
So, I participated in the Carlsbad Rock and Roll Half Marathon.
Damn, we don't ever have shit down here. Go ahead. We can never get nothing.
So they had like 3 or 4 races going on at the same time. So people were doing the same. They were doing the 5K and the full marathon at the same time.
Do you think you can do a marathon, or has it crossed your mind of like, hey,
people keep telling me, oh, it's next, and I'm like, nah, like.
But you game lock into things so much that I feel like that would be a good use of your energy.
It would.
Though.
I mean, yeah, maybe not right now because I got too much happening.
Right.
And the half marathon, I half-ass train.
Right, and I
didn't really have to think about it.
Did you walk?
No.
See how the disrespect you thought I was giving?
Well, no, because that was the whole thing. If I walk, it didn't count to me. But I didn't really like when I finished. I'm like, oh, that wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
And after like mile 6, it's all mental, and I can hold mental for another 6-7 miles.
Yeah.
Another 20, I don't know.
What is that, 24 miles or 26
26.
miles? Yeah.
And
you did 12 though, right?
13.
Oh.
0.1.
So basically you was halfway in your journey if you would have. How much longer
that's
do you
what
think
a half marathon.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like you was halfway in your journey, but like how much do you think you had left in the tank?
I had a few more miles in me. The way I sprinted at the last quarter mile, I was like, oh, I still have some in the tank.
Walk me through this, and how'd you train for that? That's like one of those things where you have to meet somebody that does it, and they tell you what they do, and you meet someone else, and you find out what works for you.
Nah.
What you mean?
I did like a 5-minute Google search, and it was like, oh, 'cause basically the main thing is, you know, if you got to run 13 miles, don't sit here and run 13 miles every day thinking it's going to help you. It's going to hurt you.
Right, because your body has to recover.
So basically what I did is if I did run, I ran a couple times a week if I had time. And I was off of work too, so I had a little bit more time. So basically I run like 4 miles in the morning, 4 to 6.
Yeah.
And then one day a week, I'll try to stretch it. You try to stretch it a little bit longer to see.
You said 4 to 6, right?
4 to 6 is like my average run in general.
Yeah.
And then on like a Saturday morning, I'll try to stretch it to get to like 7.
Okay.
7, 8. And then a week or so before, I had a little extra time. And I had a little extra like whatever. So I got to 11. And once I got to 11, I'm like, oh, this is going to be easy. And the only thing, I wasn't worried about that part.
So you're saying marathon runners don't run. I would think you would overtrain and then just to get to the number.
I know, because logically you're just like, oh, because if I can run this much, then this ain't gonna be no problem.
Right.
But once you get past a certain amount of miles, training for 13 miles, that's too much on your body. Right. So when you do that for a 5K maybe, but not, I don't know the difference between a marathon training and that. Only thing I was worried about was like leading up to it, the dietary stuff. Right?
That's probably the most important.
I didn't change my diet a whole bunch. I was only worried about having to take a shit. Cause I'm like, yo, I do all this. I sign up, and in 5 minutes.
Tell me how you avoided it, because it sounds like you did.
Imodium.
I don't know why that's funny as shit to me, but it was like, yo, like, ain't no way. Like, I'll just go ahead and take that.
It would have been because that was the thing too. Like when I was running, I'm like, damn, I can't even stretch. I can't even see, hey, can I run 10 miles just on GP right now? Because 2-3 miles in, I'm like, man, I gotta take a shit. I gotta stop. So I
Right.
ran a little 4 miles and I stopped. So I wasn't running as much as I thought I should. And it started happening a lot, like leading up to the race. And then the week of the race, I gotta start carbo loading and shit.
Oh, that's
so
true.
I gotta change it up.
Energy you can get.
And I did the 11 miles. Normally I run dehydrated. I run like still having to go to the bathroom, and I run like on poor sleep. So if I did any of those other things right the night before, I was gonna have an advantage.
Right.
But I didn't have.
Did you have great sleep?
No.
Were you concerned, or
I thought
or you just out?
No,
out?
because it's all mental. The 13 miles I can get through mentally.
Right.
And I thought I ate too much the day before. I was like, fuck. And then I popped that Imodium as soon as I woke up.
But what'd you eat the day before?
I had a big ass bowl of pasta.
I feel like that's heavy the next day, though. You didn't like.
It's carbs. You want to have that energy. I had it early enough in the day to where I was like, I'm not gonna eat
all that shit at nighttime.
But still, the energy will be in me. But like all the bullshit should be out. So I had a big ass bowl of pasta. I had a quesadilla. I had at night I had a big ass bowl of cereal. And I was like, man, I think I did too much. And I did as much as I could. They're like, yeah, don't do anything the day before. So I did like a little couple mile walk. That was it. And then almost late. So when I originally signed up to do the race, you have to go in waves, right? Because they don't want slow ass people in the front, like people trying to pass them.
So you have to indicate like.
So they say how long of a mile do you think you're gonna sustain? Like that's what wave you're gonna end. And I signed up for the 10 to 12 minute mile.
Okay.
So based on that 11 mile run, the week before I was running the whole race in 2 hours, which is I was running at a 9-minute mile.
But you just wanted to give yourself some grace?
No, because they signed me up back in October.
Oh, somebody
and at
else.
that point, yeah. Shout out Sal and Beatrice. I wouldn't have done none of this without,
absolutely,
because
we know that
I run for free. But
but you went in there and start sizing motherfuckers up.
No, that was the whole thing.
You needed that. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Because like it's like running around the block or whatever is different. Once I'm in that element, I'm like, oh, okay, like the spirit of competition comes out. So when I show up to my wave and it says 14-minute mile, I said, nah, these motherfuckers is too slow. And I was like, man, I gotta see it. So I left my wave.
Yeah.
And I was like, who's in the front? And in the front, it said...
You saw some Africans.
It said, no, because they had already left.
Okay.
And they don't do the half, they do the full.
Yeah, okay. Exactly.
So the thing that was at front by the time I got there was the 2 hour finish. And I was like, that's what I was running, so I'm going to run with them.
I got 2 important questions. Remind me later about this. Keep going.
Yeah, so I'm like, all right. And the weird thing is I didn't run with music. I had it was like a 2 hour on the dot Ice Cube interview. And I was like, as long as he's talking, I'm still in my wave.
Right.
Cause my goal was like, all right. No, I started at the 2 hour 15. Cause the 2 hour had already left. Cause they have people, pacers, that run the race, that hold the sign. Hey, if you run with me, you're going to finish in this time.
So they know they're going to keep pace.
Yeah, so if you run with them, you know you're going to send them. Yeah.
That's like a ref keeping up with a dude like when on a 60-yard touchdown.
Shit, when I saw the marathon, the 3.5 hour marathon people, I was like, damn, this dude can't fuck up at all. Like, they was moving.
Yeah.
So my whole goal was like, well, I'm running in a 2 hour thing. I got to catch that other dude. So as long as I can catch them and the Ice Cube is still talking, I'm good.
Damn, that's a tough job. I didn't even know that they had pacers up there.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Because you said once I'm in the element and I have somebody I'm chasing, that pacer, and I got all these. There's always somebody to catch. Because
so you got Ice Cube, the pacer
thousands of people there.
You got the dude that you sizing up like, nah, he ain't about to.
But there's always somebody to pass,
right?
Because there's that many people there, and we running and we along the coast, so we got the water, and then the other thing that helps people is everybody else, even though they're not necessarily cheering you on, but they're making noise. They're encouraging people. They got the signs out. Like, you just kind of pretend like that's for you, and it keeps you going. And so it increased my pace by at least 30 seconds a mile. And
so you performed better than what you thought you was going to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I shaved when I first signed up, I thought I was going to get done at about 2:15 to 2:20, and I finished at 1:51. So I knocked about 20, 25 minutes off my time.
Not related to the question I was going to ask you. Did they tell you what percentile you were in?
So I had I had my sweater over my little number thing, and so I don't even know if it registered.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Oh. I gotta look online.
But you know, based off of your time, though, right?
Oh yeah, I didn't. There was only a handful of people that passed me, and I passed at least 1,000 people.
Oh shit.
And so, because I had caught up.
Just tell me. Don't fucking lie to me, okay? Just tell me.
I'm not lying.
No, I haven't asked.
I ran the whole thing.
Did it feel good, though?
That runner's high is real.
Yeah, okay.
It'll carry you around. And then whoever be living on the coast, the Carlsbad too, they just looking for a reason. They was popping champagne and taking shots. It's 9 a.m.
Yeah. See, you know what's funny? Like, I be telling people this. Like, there's a part of us in men that I know of. I can't speak for women, right? But there's a part of us in men that thrive off of competition. Like, yo, I can go out and play golf with 3 other guys and we play for money or whatever. And if I lose, that's going to fuck with me for a little bit. Like, it means nothing to anyone else in a fucking, like, mile square radius of where we're at, but it bothers me, right? But you train for something. You did what you had to do. You passed 1,000 people, and you're, no offense, you're usually a lonely walker when you do your walks and shit, right? But now you got people on the same mission and is hitting that drive. It's like running 5s again.
Yeah, I needed it too. Like, just the week I had, I was like, oh, I need to like run this out. And then the runner's high will it'll carry you. And I had enough people to where I was like, okay, my mind is distracted. And it wasn't till like mile 10, 11 where it got quiet for a second, where I was like, oh shit, my thighs hurt. And then luckily, my family, my people that came to see me, they kind of strategically posted up in one of those quieter areas to kind of keep me up.
Yeah.
And so I ran past them. I'm like, all right, I felt it like, all right.
A little jolt.
And then I go right past the little downtown, old town area where everybody's at. I'll tell you what, though, whoever was holding that last mile sign, I was about to whoop his ass. That shit was not the last mile.
I've done 1 million of these to know.
I was hurting, man, because that last mile felt like 3.
Bro was at 1.25.
I don't know what it was, but and that's the thing too. Everyone was mad because like my Apple Watch paused 3 miles in, so I didn't even get the satisfaction of like all the little cool shit it does when you do all that wild shit.
Would you use a regular workout app?
No, I use my Apple Watch.
No, for the time, right?
To time it.
Right, but what'd you use to do that?
Oh, to know my time was? Oh, so they have the overall time when you finish, but that's from when that first wave left. So based on that, and then remember that I started that Ice Cube interview and I finished it. Yeah. And so I just paused it and it said 1:51.
No, but I'm saying you said your Apple Watch stopped though. Like, what were you tracking your time with? Like, what app were you?
YouTube.
Okay, that's what you're saying.
YouTube.
But what do you mean it just stopped then?
Like, I don't know if the sweater like rubbed over it and it hit pause. It just paused.
Oh, like,
so it said I only ran 4 miles because by the time I looked at it,
you had a workout app on, or you just using the regular Apple Watch?
Yeah, whatever the shit is naturally on the Apple Watch.
All right. So what my point in telling you that is if you do another one, there's an app called Strava. They track.
Oh yeah, I ain't doing all that.
Nah, but it's dope because when you turn it on and you can lock the screen and still play music, but it will track where you ran, so you can post that shit, like frame it. I think that would be dope.
No, I mean this one does that too. It just didn't have like it just stopped.
Oh, you have an app for it.
Yeah, whatever the default shit is on the app.
Yeah, I keep telling you, stop saying the word default. I'm getting hung up on that.
Fitness joint. It's not important.
Yeah, anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, I felt bad like the last mile when you start seeing people collapsing and like.
I was gonna ask you, did you collapse when you got to the finish line, or at least lay out on the floor?
Nah, I still had some in the tank, so I was a little mad. I was like,
what the next day feel like?
I was cool.
You use that gun? On
I used it the night before.
Yeah. How's it work?
It was I don't know if I got like, you know how like people are like tender headed?
Yeah.
I'm like tender like skinned. Some of that shit was like like, but it do get the blood flowing. Hey, wait, when they was doing that to McCaffrey last night, I was like, oh yeah, no.
I'm official.
Hey, he scored that game winning touchdown though, didn't he?
He did. I give it to him.
And so yeah, and then some people weren't collapsing; they just stopped, and I could hear them. They're just like, "Damn!" Like the disappointment.
That hurts.
Because if you collapsed, that made more sense. I'm like, you just started walking. Like, what? We right there. You can see it.
Yo, it's always funny to know where people's will was. I would love to be in somebody's head when they give up.
That's the thing. Like, if you a quarter mile away and you running with me, that means you ran this whole thing fairly fast. And so for you to stop right here, I didn't understand it.
Yeah, that part I don't understand either.
And then once
like at least a nice brisk jog.
Yeah, we were making this last turn because that was why I got mad at the last mile.
What was the route? Tell me the route in Carlsbad.
You start at the mall.
Okay.
And then you run
off the 78.
Yeah, you start at the mall and you head west till you hit the coast, and then you run along the coast for 5 miles.
South?
Yeah, south. Okay. And then you turn around. It's a 5 mile thing. You turn around and just run.
You ran into what, La Jolla or something?
No, you just run 5. It's only a little 5 mile thing. You turn around and come back. And then you go and then you finish right back at the mall.
Okay.
And on that last turn, I turned on. I was like, oh, I turned it on a little bit more that last mile, and it just, my mind was like, oh, this is the longest mile ever. But once I hit this last turn, I turned on a sprint. And then some dude's on a megaphone, and he sees me, and he's like, oh, so some other people got fired up and tried to run with me. I don't think you could hear it in the video I took because I turned the video on.
I didn't see the shit because I missed it the whole day, bro.
I turned the video on.
I'm going to see the video, but I swear to God, I always tell you, like, oh, off mic, we're going to talk. Like, I really want to see the video, though.
No, I don't think you can see. You can't see because
I'm
fucking
running. Mad because I would have went to that. But given the clientele, I don't know.
I was like, oh, that's a funny thing, right? So the kids don't know like how long this race is, right?
Yeah.
And they show up late and they're posted up and they see all these people. So Zeke's like, man, Dad gotta be in last place. He taking too long. And then they're over here sitting.
He taking long. It's crazy getting there late.
And they're over sitting here. Well, yeah, because they didn't need to be here the whole time. They just need to be in the spot. And then they're over here like, oh, like normally like we're just looking for the tall white dude.
There's a bunch of
and
them.
Then she's over here like, this isn't his usual demographic, so it's going to be harder to point him out.
That's funny. That's funny.
And,
shit.
Yeah, and then afterwards, they loaded me up on them free, like, they got a bunch of vendors there, so I had, like, some shit I ain't never had. There was, like, some juices and some local shit.
Yeah.
I wasn't starving. I wasn't doing anything.
The whole nine.
Like, my body's cool.
That 26 would be the one that would get you, though.
Yeah, I don't know if 26 would be something I'd actually have to dedicate some time to. And I'm not there yet.
For a 40th birthday gift to yourself, 40. I think that'd be fire.
40, maybe.
Yeah, I'm just saying 40 on your 40th birthday, that'd be dope.
I don't want to say the race was easy, but it definitely wasn't hard.
Right.
And so,
but it's just one of those things to say. You can walk up and down this block. There's not many people that have ran 13 miles.
No, yeah, and that's what people were trying to. Because I was doing the normal me thing again, where I was downplaying it.
I know that's why I fucking had to give you.
And
the
like,
block.
No, it's a big deal. I was like, but it didn't feel because it was easy.
All right, then give yourself a hard task.
And I didn't even like.
There's a harder task in front of you. That's the funny part about it.
It wasn't like. I wasn't really like too sore. I wasn't starving.
Did you get you some
I still
Asics?
Went on a bike ride afterward. Yeah, when you was flaming my shoes.
Yeah,
that's because they was the real running shoes.
All right, there we go. Nah, I said they had extra cushion.
They did.
I thought those was Hocus.
Nah, that was the next one.
Yeah, like, but I know what the shoes is. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I said you got extra cushion in those.
I didn't even realize because I was thinking something too. I was like, man, I brought these glasses. I didn't need them, so I knew you guys would get me right once the picture was in there, and Ben was like, I was like, damn.
Oh, shit. Okay, I did know then. That's where that photo was from. Yeah, did you have the sweater on, though?
Yeah.
Where was your number at?
It was underneath.
I didn't look around everyone else. I only got to
because I thought the sun.
Off, you know how you look at somebody in the face, but you can see something down here. I saw the shoes after. I didn't even look at the running.
I thought the sun was eventually gonna come out, so I had my glasses on. But I did look like some Boston Marathon bomber shit. Like I was about to set that shit off.
They didn't know who he was when that came, but he came. The kids was like, "Who is this guy?" Came out. Oh, so you had the outfielder glasses on.
I mean, it was just my sunglasses.
Oh no!
But then when I have the hood on,
no. But if you get the sport mode glasses, I know you for real.
Nah, I ain't doing all that.
You get the sport mode,
so I didn't even need them. And then that shit, and then G broke that shit afterwards. But yeah, I went on like a bike ride afterwards. I still function in society.
Well, I mean, you trained for it too, so it shouldn't hurt you so bad. You know what I mean?
Well, I wanted to like.
My wife did a back workout the other day. She hasn't lifted weights with her back in years. It was acting like she was about to collapse. So.
I'll tell you what though, that Imodium fucked me up in the long run.
Yeah, because it come back. Whatever.
No, it didn't. It fucked me up. Like normally I'm pretty regular and I'm good. Oh, that shit was just kind of.
That's when you get you some coffee, a little bit of caffeine to
No. Just gets you some more green.
Or you get your laxative.
Some more greeneries.
You know what? I took get the hand clap ready. I took a laxative as a joke one time, just thinking like, oh, this shit don't work. I did too. Oh shit, man! Dad and I've definitely had a colonoscopy before, and I don't play with it no more. Like laxatives, nah, because the shit they give you from the doctor, they give you this little gallon shit or whatever.
Oh yeah, you can't eat. You got it. My pops did that one time.
That shit's crazy, man. Like I was having stomach issues for a while. I found out that shit's stress, and that was about 3 years ago. And so, after drinking that gallon, dog, that shit will, and you have to drink that whole entire thing over a certain time.
Otherwise, you got to start over.
It's terrible.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, like the taste is, and that when you get halfway through, look, you talk about your runners thing, right? When you just hit that third wall, you're like, yo, I'm past it, right? It's the same thing with that gallon.
You start mixing it in your cereal and shit.
Oh man, but yeah, hit my hand claps. That's fire, man. I'm happy for you, bro. I think that's the most time we've spent on your life in a long time. Oh shit!
I'll start giving it up soon.
That's funny as hell. No, I'm just saying in general though. Like that was supposed to be. Usually I do shit with work or whatever. That's pretty. They tired of my baseball shit, so I don't even bring it up no more. Yeah, the team won. We got it. All right, here we go. This is a fire one. I never even thought about this, but it's a great question. A lot of the episode today is about you. There's something that we can dig in your life that would be applicable that I was like, yo, like we gonna get him really in his bag. What offends you?
Not much.
That's what I'm saying. Cause like you're somebody who isn't like easily offended, and you're always pretty even keel. We was talking about another one of your friends off mic. Right, and even in that situation, you was pretty cool. But what's something that
even last night,
the shopping cart thing, I know that. So outside of Costco, like
shopping cart,
yeah, Costco.
I always say that offends me. It irritates me. But even last night, right, Ben hit me on the side, and he's talking. His lady could probably be in a group chat, but if she doesn't know you well enough, she'll just tell the joke to him. And then Ben's like, yo, he's not going to take this that way. You should tell him. He'll probably think you're funny. So every now and then he'll be like, yeah, Neve told me this. I almost said her name. And then, so last night he's like, he starts making fun of the sign, the runner sign that G made me.
Yeah.
So G, I don't know if you didn't see none of the pictures. G made a sign like, go dad, whatever. And he draws me. Right. So he draws me. Right. And then so he colors me orange. And so when I see the sign, I'm like, oh, G, you played me?
That's crazy.
And he's like, Mom told me to. And I was like, oh, so it's you? We was trying to get Peach. And
Peach is crazy.
And I'm like, damn. And so she was making fun of the sign, like, oh, G had him hella accurate. I'm like, damn, I'm orange though?
Damn.
And then I'm like, and then he's like, yeah.
Damn, I'm orange is crazy. I like the realization. I just told you, hey, I see why you looked at me like that. Because we got a new light.
That's what it brought
and
up.
I said, yo, you look less red. Like, you got all the bright colors.
And so
high visibility.
And then he was like, man, I really wish he'd hit you like directly because I think you guys could have a nice little banter. I was like, I'll bait her one day, like in the DMs or whatever, respectfully.
Yeah.
But yeah, G definitely played me with the sign. Zeke played me with the.
So you get offended when people like call you.
No, that was just random. But no, because she thought I would get offended by it.
Right, okay.
And it's like nah, but
So anything family and kids, like there's something that could offend you there.
I got offended. Damn, what was the other day where I was like, yo,
as men, it's hard for me to like understand like what offends me, but as a black man, I know what offends me.
Yeah, I'll get offended for other people sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't really get offended to me. It's kind of like being in like if you go to black comedy shows, you can't get upset when I start telling white people jokes.
Right. Like, yeah, because you came there.
But like, if you go to
a white comedy
and
show,
he starts, you're like, wait a minute.
Everybody in the crowd
different.
But see, what I noticed that those crowds laugh when they look around. It's like, oh, there's only a few of them in here.
Normally, I'm like, if it's funny, it's fair game. If it's not funny, that's when I'm gonna start to look at it and be like,
which is subjective. That's the fucked up
But
part.
something was on my timeline the other day. I was like, I don't know if I like that.
Yeah.
but it was kind of it was about So someone was talking about their kids, like bad parenting or something or whatever. No. It was talking about beating your kids, right? And this dude, it was like somebody it was like a content piece, and somebody was it was one of those, and this white dude runs to the dishes, and you can hear his mom in the background yelling about, and it was like, it sounded real abusive, right? But it was trying to get along the lines of like, oh, these kids is too soft nowadays.
Yeah.
But the headline said, when your mom's the only white person, when your mom's the only white mom that grew up in the projects. And I'm like, so it was equating to that type of parenting to black people and growing up in the projects.
That's crazy.
And I don't know if I like that.
Everybody gets their ass whooped.
But at the same time, I was just like, oh, he's just stupid, right?
Yeah.
But to truly get offended, I feel like you've asked me this on air before too. I didn't have an answer back then.
It was probably in the same nature, but this was the first time that you had opened up about your redness, you know.
I don't get offended. If it's funny, it's fair. If it's directly at me, if it's funny, it's fair game.
You know what's funny? Like they've always said that like black people are always passive. I think you've picked up that trait from us too, though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's only one. Like, I notice now what's been getting me is that I go to the gym in East County somewhere, and every once in a while I see these Chaldean kids coming up talking about nigga this and nigga that.
Oh yeah, they go loose with that.
Yeah, that one. And then yesterday, my man's lives by Black Mountain Road, so I'm off in the cut off by the Black Mountain. Right, there's a lot of white folks at Black Mountain, right? And like this Filipino dude comes in and he's saying nigga, but he looks at me.
Ooh, the Filipinos and Black Mountain, those are the Mira Mesa Asians.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a different breed.
But I looked at him a little different. Like I looked at him a little differently though, because I was just like, but he ain't used to seeing me out there, right? Because I had on Jordans and the whole fit. So for the party.
They talk like they do though.
Yeah, but then he saw me and kind of chilled a little bit. I'm like real close to saying something, right? Like in all these spots. I be letting it go because I want to return back to these spots because they're part of my normal routine. But it's like, yo, at one of these times, I'm about to just let it fly. You know, like, hey, man, watch your mouth. Like, I'm just letting you know right now. Do that shit when I'm not here because I can't control that. But while I'm here, dog, don't do that. You know, the problem is that when you do that, if somebody checks that, right, then I got to be able to cash in. So that offends me. I can't even say... Like, if you're talking about my family in a negative way, but it's not joking, like you're not laughing when you say it, right? Then that ain't like when he was talking about the sign that G made and you orange or whatever. That's not. It's like it's a negative connotation to it. Doesn't mean that he's trying to like hurt your feelings, but it's a joke.
No, I think G was dead serious.
No, he was dead. No, I'm saying about Ben doing
the joke.
It though.
Yeah, that's it. Well, one is it depends on who it's coming from, because if I know you that well and I know your heart, then you could say the most. And Ben is one of those people,
right? Where
he might say something just to me because he knows like how I'm going to take it.
Well, he knows how he is too.
This is gonna sound wild, but you know you know my heart,
right,
type of shit. So you can get that type of shit off. And I'm one of those like I try to talk. I try to talk the same in front of anybody. I understand there's definitely appropriate times to code switch and whatever. But for the most part, I do like to speak the same. If I can't say it in front of everybody, then I won't say it because I know even those people who aren't black that think they got the pass to drop the N-bomb.
Yeah.
If you think you can't say it in front of everybody, you probably shouldn't say it.
You shouldn't say it at all, yeah. Do you feel like you offend people easily?
Easily?
I do.
Like maybe not as much as I used to.
I feel like you take offense to what I say, or used to. Not as much anymore, just because we do the pod and everything. So
I don't think I take offense to it. I think
it's the reaction that lets me know, like, yo,
yeah, but it's not taking offense.
Let me find out what offense means.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's a different word we're looking for.
All right, let me see. Resentful or annoyed, typically as a result of perceived insult. I mean,
it's not an insult. The shit that gets me
if
going.
I'm insulting you, like in terms of like your intelligence or something like that. No.
It's not the insults that get me going with you.
Okay.
Okay. It's your takes. It's not insulting.
There's the annoyed.
I mean, that's part of it, but it's still a different definition. It's not.
It says as a result.
It's not an insult.
As a result of perceived. I feel like I offend people though, based on like shit that I say. Even the job that I do. A matter of fact, you offend people. we both work in jobs.
I'm not saying I don't offend people. I just don't know if I do it as easily as I used to.
I think and here's the thing. Who gives a shit if I offended you depending on, see, that's offensive within itself, right?
You sound like Draymond Green now. Yeah, if I meant to hit you, I'm not sorry. But, I didn't mean to hit nurturing. So I said I apologize.
That's where I would draw the line at. It depends on the level that I took it at, right? Like, if it's level 1 offense, like, bro, let that shit go. Level 3, I get it, right? But then again, like, if you did something to me, just like your comedy show reference, if you did something to me and this was my response to that, you no longer can tell me.
This is what you mean, right? So if I say something to you, trying to offend you, that's different. If I'm in like comedy or whatever, if I say a general statement and you get offended, if the shoe fits, dog, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
That's how
you came here. Like, you know what I mean?
But it's like, yeah.
Like Dave Chappelle, right? He's a great example, right? We'll continue that. He offends the trans community, right? And it's been a theme of his, to the point where I read a review where they were saying that, like, yo, like, he's kind of overcooking it. And I was like, nah.
Little bit.
I mean, yes, but it's still funny, though. Like, the shit he brings up, I'd be like, yo, that's kind of funny. But, like, they were seriously offended by the shit that he be saying.
And that's the whole thing we learn that we grew up as kids, right? Like, hey, if a bully's picking on, or if someone's going at you, if you don't give them no attention, they go away. It's a classic example right now where they keep firing up. So he's like,
this time around, I didn't hear that much crazy buzz on it. So I think they're kind of like, yo, Dave is going to be Dave. But I always think about, there's always worse. Family Guy, I swear to God, is like one of the most offensive TV shows ever. I watch it. But like, they don't kill those places, South Park and all that. They still have.
But it's kind of like TV. One of those no press is bad press type of things. Like the people that offend people the most, they're going to get the most views, and a lot of those views is like hate views. But it's like, hey, you running my shit up, and I'm benefiting from it. Right. You're actually helping them in the long run.
Look at Trump. Yo, he's coming back, bro. And when you look at both sides, it's like, yo, we're not going to win with either one of them. I don't even know if Joe really be here when he be talking sometimes.
Last decade.
Yeah, man, it's bad right now.
Hey, enjoy these Olympics.
It's the last one. Hey, one of these countries about to end up offended.
Simone coming back, right, for the grand finale?
I think I hope so. Her husband is he been playing, right? He
ain't playing today. Yeah. Shout out to them, man. I really needed them to pull that off last night.
Oh man, that's funny, man. What's something you can't live without?
Music.
Like everything else, you can take everything else away, but music has to be around, or even the culture of music, huh? The fact that you told me that you put on an Ice Cube interview to get through a marathon is kind of crazy, though.
It was only because I saw that it was 2 hours to the dot,
and you hadn't listened to it.
And I had some music going on the way up, but I didn't want to break the cycle of where I was.
Yeah,
and I didn't want to listen to that on the route because I was like, that ain't gonna hype me up like that. So this interview will be fine.
Contrary to my size exercise. I could be offended by that. Nah, I was fucking with you. Nah, for real though. Like, I gotta exercise competition, and the only reason why I exercise is so that I can do the things that I like enjoy doing. Like even with old boy making this comment earlier, yo, bro, if I could walk a golf course 4 days in a row for 4 miles or whatever, and like be competitive, all right, there we go. I'm in decent shape for me, right? So
those little things are the things that add up to, especially as we age and you got to change how you train and whatever. And you know, the strength training, everything becomes more important as your muscle mass and we lose our testosterone. Like those little things, like going to the gym and all that is great. No, but like when you press for time and stuff like that, it's those little things that like really add up over the long haul. Like at work, I never take the elevator.
Right.
So a whole decade of only taking the stairs, like that means something.
Yeah.
And things like that.
That was hella
like,
deep.
No, just because people.
No, just like I'm saying, like you could also say like I never took the elevator anywhere. I always took the stairs. You know what I mean? Like on
like sustainability of just the discipline of in the long run, it all adds up to where it's like, oh, you know what? I'm at work. I don't have time for a full workout, but like every top of the hour, I'm gonna go knock out 10, 15 push-ups. 10 to 15 push-ups ain't gonna change your life.
Yeah.
But over the long run, as someone who's like, damn, I have zero time to go to the gym. Over the long run, 10 to 15 push-ups 8 times a day over X amount of years, you're like, oh, like you might not be Arnold Schwarzenegger, but you like You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you in a way better spot than someone who's just sitting at the cube all day.
Did you stretch?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I'm at the point now. My hammies, I've been having like inner knee issues, and I was telling the doc, I was like, either you gonna tell me I'm like too big or something.
Yeah, a lot of them issues are stretching.
No, yeah, he said, yo, your hamstrings is tight. So he gave me the little cortisone shot in October, and then it came back like 3 weeks ago, and I was like, let me just stretch for 4 days.
You got hit the cortisone?
Yeah. It worked, but it's like a fake work. Like, so I feel for these athletes.
No, I know
because you can feel the instability still.
Because I know it don't matter. It don't matter how much I stretched, how much I didn't do, or how much I did the day before. When I get up, within the first 8 steps I take, my right knee's gonna pop. I know if I stand up right now and I didn't know
where you feel it at.
I don't feel it. I just know that it's gonna pop.
Oh, you don't feel the pop?
No, I feel the pop, but I don't like. It's not on some like my knee hurts. I just know it's gonna pop. It's kind of like a wake up.
When my shit, we over here exchanging old dudes. When my shit crack, I feel like, all right, I'm ready to start my day. Like I can feel the stiffness, and then it'll crack, and I feel great.
Oh yeah, I mean, I usually get that in the neck.
Oh yeah, that's the one. Mid back too. All right, this one I saved for last. Because I didn't want them to get us out of here. And if anybody doesn't really fuck with us, they would have already left by now, 43 minutes in. So, as a man, make sure we're getting this and everybody hears me. What is something you wish women did more of? And so I saw this on this girl's post, and normally she don't get a lot of engagement, but it was about 20 dudes there. I did the count. It was about 20, 25 dudes. A lot of them were talking about accountability. And then a few guys were talking about like them like loving themselves and not feeling like they have to put on this facade. Like just be everyday you. Right? And also like your inner stuff.
Yeah.
So for me, I think that I wish that let's go with you first.
I'm gonna go with live a little more natural.
Yeah.
I'm not a big makeup guy.
No.
I'm not a big $400 hair, this and this and that.
That part too though, right? Like the believability among I'm glad you said that because I was talking to my wife about that. So we had old girl that was here last week, right? Obviously she's pretty, right? To many of people. I'm the weird dude. I be telling my wife this, like, yo, y'all think Beyonce is fire? I think Kelly Rowland look better. That's just me. I say shit like that and I believe it.
I said that maybe 10 years ago. I got flamed up.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, they like this is why we have a pod together though. But like I be saying that shit and she don't understand that. When I think about this, yeah, this is the end result. But if I have to be a part of like the whole process, like it probably took a while, right? You know what I mean? No shot at her. I'm sure she gets her DMs filled with a lot of shit. You know how I know? Because a few dudes, they hit me up like, hey, man, what's her Instagram page or whatever, right? I done seen a few of y'all now there, right? When I had to tag her and shit, the follows has been there, right? And that's cool.
Something you got to put in the show notes, big dog. Yeah. I shouldn't be having to have this conversation.
But, you know, like I agree with you. So, like, I think that some women have a hard time believing men and what they say because of their interactions.
I think they have to go a little deeper than that though, right? Because yeah, they do all that, and yeah, the DMs come flooding in. But what are the quality of those DMs? And what I mean by is, and girls, because girls will say this to, I'm assuming you've heard this too, like we'll hit them with the, yeah, I prefer you with no makeup. I think you look better like that. Or you know what, you think your hair look crazy, but like, you know what, I'm kind of turned on by it.
Yeah,
like they're just out there. It's like, yeah, you say that, but then like blah 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 on TV, we're like, you fuck her though. I'm like, yeah, and then what else? All those people flooding your DMs, yeah, they might want to fuck you, but what else?
Yeah,
we're simple creatures, right? We're men. You're like, okay, yeah, aesthetically, maybe I'd fuck it, but then it's like, I'm also like when Kylie Jenner had her kid, and I'm like, yo, you really think she like that little girl's gonna grow up thinking that she's supposed to look like her mom when her mom don't look like that,
right?
So if she like comes out looking like mom, naturally. And everyone's like, oh yeah, you look like your mom. She gonna look at her mom like, no the fuck I don't. Now obviously unfortunately she's probably gonna follow the line and probably do the surgeries and shit too.
Right.
But early on,
mine would be a hypocrite to say don't do it.
And early on in her life, before that's a possibility, because I thought Kylie was ugly as fuck before this, right?
I still do.
So assuming
I ain't gonna front.
assuming like the kid grows up ugly, and I sound crazy right now. This is lack of better vocabulary.
Right.
She grows up and she's gonna be, and then people are talking to her, like bullying her like she's ugly. She's gonna like wonder why, and it's just like the cycle's gonna continue, and like just on some shit like that. So there's a lot of women who don't believe men when they say shit like that, but
I think that, okay, so then to add to my list, I think that, like, just try to think rationally. You know what I mean? No, because I'm going to add to what you're saying.
Just try to see what I'm saying.
What you're comparing to what I do is window shopping. I would wear that. I would hit, right?
But I'm going to keep the tag on.
Yeah, but I'm going to keep either I'm going to keep the tag on or I'm only just gazing. Like, that's just something that I would like, but I don't think I would buy it.
Because it's a mental thing, right? So if I take a glance and the surgery's not totally botched, well, I'm just like, whoa, fuck out of here with that. But if I take a glance, like, oh, like that surgery was pretty well done.
Yes.
So yeah, it's like aesthetically, I like it. But mentally, there's that piece like, but it's not real though. And that's the part that's going to take me over the other side of the fence. Like, nah. Now, if that was real, then my gaze is full on there. Like, oh, wow, she's beautiful.
Right.
But then knowing that it's fake, I'm just like, nah, it's gonna pull me back. I'd rather be with somebody else.
I think that I can go out on a limb and say that as far as the women that I've experienced, the more rational thinkers had the more masculine qualities. You know what I mean? Like, and that's another thing. I'm a sneaker guy. Like my wife might think that like heels and like some other shit do it for me, but it's like, baby, like when we've been together, I've been buying you sneakers. Like this is how I want you.
You gotta like you gotta question yourself, like, am I gay? Like why do I like her in these big ass basketball shorts?
Why do I want her to hit this golf ball 140 yards a little bit?
And put them 06 basketball shorts on?
That might be the ones for you. Hey, but you know, that's a nostalgia thing too, because that's what we grew up in. That's how the girls dressed back then. They wear spandex and play ball now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's real crazy. I'm used to having the Russell athletic joints.
But even then, back then, you
with
just
the
like
string stuck together. You had to cut it.
Yeah, like Aaliyah had all them baggy ass clothes on. I guess maybe it just leaves more to the imagination. You're just like, she probably killing it.
That's why you missed it. What I was talking about last week.
If she looked that good with all this shit on, she must be fire underneath, killing that shit underneath.
So you was talking about Kylie. I applied Kendall, the younger sister, for not getting all the shit done and just wanting to naturally be her.
I thought Kylie was the youngest. Kendall's the one who doesn't. She's the one that looks good because she didn't do all
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like she naturally accepts herself and doesn't dress like how they dress. Like you look like a normal everyday chick that would go to Plaza Bonita. You know what I mean?
I don't think she'd like that.
Who?
That's not a compliment to her.
Nah, that sounds fire.
Not to her.
I like regular people. I'm like, yo, like and not even just regular. Like people. Let's add another one to my list. You don't have to put on a facade for some things. Men do that too, right? They be faking it. They drive a Chevy Camaro, whatever, 1-bedroom apartment, just like it don't make sense, right? I'm with you. I will always acknowledge the fuckery that we do as men, but I'm only specifically talking about like things that I wish were different in my interactions with women, right? And it's like it's literally like, yo, have the self confidence. That's what I was telling old girl earlier, that was here last week. Like, yo. Like my mom, my aunt, and my grandmother and all of them, like they've been the type that I can do bad by myself, and I've only seen that from really black women. Like, you know what I mean? Like other races, I'd be like, yo, especially how they be on TV. It'd be the black women that be fighting the shit when they do the BET shit, and then it'd be like the Asian girls or whatever crying and doing all this other shit. Like, oh, I was watching 90 Day Fiance, the tell-all. I wasn't even watching this season. It's kind of watered down, but I was like, the tell-all is when, you know, you get the summary of everything. And there's a dude that was like telling this girl like what to eat, and he liked her body at this type, and she didn't think there was anything wrong with it. And I was like, yo, where's your self-confidence at?
Some women like that.
That's fucking crazy to me, but you're right.
Yeah, he's gonna order for me, shit like that.
Yeah. How would you feel in that situation?
I'm not rocking with you
because
I don't even know what the fuck I'm gonna order.
That's a fatal attraction type shit, bro. That shit's scary to me.
I'm not that. I feel like I have a good balance of when to like show dominance, and when to be more passive and like, nah, that's all you. I'm more of a. I can be quiet. I want you to be you. I want you to do everything you want to do. To where, like, if I do speak up and I do say something, you're like, oh, he don't usually do that, so let me listen.
Right.
You know, if I really, really need to care about it, you're gonna hear my mouth. But otherwise, I like to adapt. Now, I probably should bring this up in therapy because I probably should change that up a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that. Hit my hand claps. I got another one for you. Now this is Read 'em in Wheat. Now I want to make sure that I'm going to skim through this. So if I pause a little bit, I just want to make sure that I got it right. Am I in the wrong for how I responded to my sister's HIV diagnosis? I told you I'm going to hit the nail on the head. The long and very short of it is my sister recently got diagnosed with HIV. As far as I'm aware, this is from a hookup that she no longer has access to and was from a consensual encounter. She came to me on Sunday, cried about the results, and while I responded with sympathy, my reaction wasn't severe. I asked if she still had a valid insurance, and she said yes. So I said she'd be fine, and the worst of it is over then. She called me heartless and said I had no idea how ruined her life is. I kind of shrugged at her and said she just needed to adhere to the treatment and she'd be fine. My mom and dad are upset that I wasn't as sympathetic with her because she truly does feel as though her life is over. And at the end of the day, it's still a big deal. Am I in the wrong?
Is this a man?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, he has some other excerpts in here where people were asking him if he was autistic and shit. It was kind of fucked up.
No, what I was thinking when I was hearing that, I was hearing you in the previous segment talking about thinking rationally being a masculine quality.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like a man.
Like the way he's like, yeah.
Because it's very logical.
You agree, right?
No, here's the thing, right? Obviously, I don't think he's wrong, but it's like, it's a very sensitive, like, I think we're in a transitional period and he's just further ahead than maybe the average person is when it comes to this diagnosis, right?
Right.
We lived through magic.
Yeah.
We're there.
Yeah, you got the Lakers shit on there.
We got the whole, what are them commercials? They be having them, them HIV commercials.
They be looking happy.
They be dancing at the cookout, like everything they doing. Or ain't got nothing to do with HIV, but they're like, yo, I'm living my life.
Yeah, we were more worried about COVID than HIV now.
Right, so I'm thinking over here, like, okay, it wasn't the total opposite reaction where he's back in the 80s where he's like, oh, you fucked a monkey? Or,
right.
Or you out here, you know what I mean, doing shit like that?
Oh, yeah. Or you're part of the community?
Yeah, so
God damn it, we're savages when you back. Yo.
So, but I'm saying that wasn't that long ago to where some people are still kind of like, damn. So I can understand when it happens to you, it's a totally different feeling.
Right.
So to empathize with somebody is one thing. To sympathize because you know exactly what it is, that's harder to do. So you can step back, think logically, like, yo, the medicine's there. You got valid insurance, you're gonna be straight.
And there's proof of people who have lived long lives past it. Because AIDS
still,
used to be, or HIV isn't even full blown AIDS.
You could still, a lot of people don't understand that still.
Right.
You could still be out here fucking. You can be in one of these next Big Tarvey commercials.
You gotta be responsible.
Yeah, you just got
crazy.
all them other shits, right? And then, it's not a death sentence like it used to be. Now, I'm also saying that, understanding his logic, if that diagnosis hit me, I'm probably still gonna feel away.
I just wouldn't
if
be
anything, I'd be mad
though.
too. Like, damn, this happened on a one night stand on someone you wasn't even really fucking with.
But do you try to respond to people with rationale or feelings? I know the answer to this, but I always respond with rationale.
It gets me in trouble.
It does. With who? You see what I mean?
Yeah, no, but that's
because with men, when I talk to men, I be cool.
But that don't make it. That don't make them wrong. We gotta learn. We gotta be more. We have to be able to.
I'm so fucking stuck in my ways because I'm trying to think of ways to
But that's part of the. It's like, yo, save that shit for the group chat, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to your partner, your lady, or just women in your life that are like you have to, it makes you a better partner. It makes you a better, just, you know what I mean? Like now here's what I would ask, like, hey, ladies, I'm trying.
Right.
So if I do mess up in that arena and I don't respond the way you want me to, just know I wasn't trying like to fuck that up.
I think that also what you're discrediting is the fact that some people don't have the verbal or physical ability to do that, but there's other ways he can show empathy over a longer span of being supportive by maybe his mere presence, checking in on her and stuff like that. And I think that she robbed him of that opportunity because in that one moment, what he was trying to do was provide a rationale that your life isn't over.
No, this is what he was trying to do and what women don't like and why they're forever going to clash. Men, solution oriented. You told me a problem, I'm going to go try to fix it.
Right.
She just wanted to get her shit off. She was emotional. She was in the moment. She just wanted him to listen and be like, damn, that's crazy. Man, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But instead, he's like, oh, like, you know, we can call your insurance. We can do this. We schedule some appointments. He was trying to get the shit moving to prove to her, like, hey, you can calm down now.
We can move on from
She
this.
wasn't
She's
ready
not
for
there,
that
yeah.
yet. That's what it was.
Also, I think what you're saying, and this is why I tell my wife, I was like, look, man, like, this might be the last time I get married or whatever, and you don't believe me, is that I don't want to go through that shit with somebody else, right?
Yeah.
Like the motions of getting to where we are at now, cool. I can do that again as a girlfriend, like if that happened, but I'm not, because then if this don't work out, then I'm on my third marriage, like some of these other dudes, fourth, fifth marriage, right? Like, yo, I'd rather not, because that's a lot of investment in time and energy. Yo, all right, let's give it up. Like I said, I've been trying to take us there. We done got our YouTube subscribes up and shit like that. Videos is up. So let's be fucking real, right?
That's because she was in the clip.
I'm not just saying that. Even like on Instagram, our shit is going high. Like, yo, we started off like really, we getting higher. I'm not gonna say it's high, but we getting higher, right? Let's take us there. There have been women that I have dated in the past where I was just sick of them, right? Like, it's like, if it's a needy basis thing for me, I'll respond then. As sick as it is, I don't know how else to explain this, right? But at the same token, there have been times where somebody would call me, I'll watch it ring out and be like, yo, I don't feel like hearing all this shit today. Why? Because I'm not invested and I'm not going to waste your time. You try to leave or whatever, they don't want you to go, right? So anybody's out there like, oh, you out here wasting someone's time, I tell them what it is. Hey, yo, we cool? You know, if you want to stick here for the ride, that's totally up to you. If I come around, cool. I got friends that's like that. You know, I got like so with that being said, to connect the dots is that is a lot to carry sometimes. And as men, sometimes we say, hey, look, instead of the journey, let's just get to the destination of what we need to be to. Because sometimes the journey is exhausting. And you can't get mad at me if I don't want to be a part of your specific journey.
And that's the whole thing. That's the real love, not even just with people, with anything. Everybody be focused on the destination. You have to love the journey or it's not going to be great at anything. Yeah,
but you and I both have our own journeys, right? I talk to you about your shit. Right? My shit. Same thing, right? My man D. There's people that I fuck with that I'll tell them what's going on in my life or like where's there some point of contention or they'll see me when I'm down, right? You didn't see me under fire for some shit or whatever, right? You have. I know. Right? You was there that specific and I ate that shit like a man, right? But even with that being said, there's not a lot of people that I'm going to allow into that space to talk to me like that. Why? Because either one, I'm going to judge them and say, you're in no position to tell me that. Right? Or two, I'm going to say something to someone where it's like, yo, man, like I'm in no position to receive your story. That has to go somewhere else.
No, when I was talking about the journey part was like when you said like, I'm not going to get married. I'm not doing this shit again. It's because right now you love her. So you're like the journey, like we're getting to the destination of, you know, happiness or whatever that might be. But to get there, you got to go up and down, you know, what it was that to get the W. You got to go through some ups and downs.
All right, he's spitting isms now. All right, I see what you're doing.
So it's like, you know, you love her, so you got to enjoy that journey. Like, sunshine don't feel so good without the rain, right?
Yeah.
And then so, if the destination is death or like whatever, and you get there, you're like, oh, I'm here now. I'm not gonna enjoy it. It's not gonna mean as much to me if I didn't have all this other shit to get to it. like when I tell the kids that play these video games or whatever, and they want to run through the whole game on the first try, and it's like, that's why y'all don't appreciate nothing. You just want to go to the next game. But if you fail a few times, once you actually do pass or whatever y'all trying to do, you gonna think of it as a better accomplishment. And so you had to go through a lot of shit to get to the, happiness you are with your partner right now. But you appreciated the journey, like, yo, that was a lot. So you're going to, if you were to, God forbid, leave this marriage and have to start over, you're going to constantly be thinking like, damn, I appreciated that journey. It was a lot. Do I want to do that with someone else? So what that's going to do is going to raise the standard for whoever you get with next, because you're like, yo, I know it's going to be some bullshit to get to that destination. Do I want to waste any of my time going through any type of the downs with this person in front of me? Or do I want to keep it pushing until I find someone worth that journey?
I think part of it is willingness, though. Everything that you're speaking to has to deal with the willingness, right? Even in this story, even in what you're saying, it's the willingness, right? And we choose, you do it too, subconsciously. There are people that like may not know what the hell is going on with you, and it may be either time, willingness to like to have that conversation. Like, for example, there were some allegations made, in regards to my character from people that right? And if you believe those things to be true, right, then we wouldn't have the conversations that we have, right? And if I wasn't able to prove certain things, right, we wouldn't have those conversations. So now we're speaking to willingness. Hey, you know what? Like, some of the things that I entrust in Lex and confidence or whatever, I know he's not going to go out and share it with the group, right? Or with people that I know, or people that with certain information, right? Same thing on my side, right? And I'll tell you, right? And then even then, in certain instances, right, we're at an age now where some people will say, hey, look, we know Carl would normally act like this in this regard. Let's just go ahead and tell him out the gate that like, we're not going that way. We just informing you or something, right? Just in general, right? And so, like, with that being said, I'm like, all right, cool, right? But I feel like the willingness piece is a big deal. Like, you have to be willing to go on that journey, that destination. Yes, you're talking about death. I'm willing to go through that with my wife to say, when we look back on it, whenever that time comes for either one of us, we look back and say, yo, that journey was amazing. Right? Even up to this point, it's been amazing.
You can't appreciate any relationship if it never had no downs. If you ain't never been through some shit to know that you can come through it.
I agree. But you have to have a willing, like, to say that I wouldn't, if we were to get divorced, to say that if I wouldn't, like, open myself up to a new opportunity, that'd be, I think that's where she and other women and people that have that thought process is misunderstanding. Yeah, I would have the willingness, but I'm going to run into a lot of bullshit in the way, and I'm not going to have a lot of willingness with certain individuals.
That's what I was saying.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Because you just went through it, so you appreciate what it takes to get to there. So you're like, hey, you know what?
I'll entertain it, though. Let's not get that wrong. Like, I would entertain, if we're being honest, I would entertain the bullshit.
Because you're a man.
Yeah, but it's just the deeper level of shit, like your family shit or whatever. I won't fuck it. Nah. But we at the age right now where like the women in our age bracket are savvy. This is why they always say you go out and get you a young one with no life experience, but even that's roulette, right? You don't know what other, I told you I had a homie, he was 39, 40, and his girl was 24, and he was taking photos at 1:30 a.m. in the club, and I was like, yo, bro, he ain't been there in the last few years. I know he hurting right now. Like, I be, like, a dude sent a photo in the group chat yesterday after leaving my man's birthday, talking about, oh, we out at Deuce downtown. I said, shit, good for you, dog. I'm not going out there. It's fucking wintertime. It's 50 degrees at night. But there's somebody out there that do that shit. Not me. Not me. No. Hit my hand claps. Where we at? The best pause is when I look at them. That's what we are. All right, let's get out of the deep shit real quick. Shows to watch. Anything you've been watching? I got some shows not to watch. So we're in that era right now.
Exhausting this Paramount Plus subscription. I watched, what's it called? Goliath. It's a 3-part doc series on Wilt Chamberlain. It's a real quick watch.
He gone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Recently, like last year, right?
Nah, he been gone for like 10 years.
Who am I thinking of? Bill Russell.
Yeah.
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 If you were gonna confuse them, that would. I mean, they were rivals back then. So.
Yeah, my bad.
But it kind of goes
saying in terms of who was alive. Yeah, I know where they played for.
Yeah. He but it's Showtime doc, real quick 3-parter, and it kind of goes in because I think he had a stigma about him, and then it kind of has some people that's like, nah, he wasn't all like that. Like when we think of one of the things people think of off top is like, yo. Dang, Wilt was that dude. Like he said the legend is he ran through 20,000 women. People start doing math and they start going back. Like he was a late bloomer. He didn't even start fucking until whatever age. And I'm like, damn, that makes the math crazier. That means he was fitting 4 or 5 in instead of 2 or 3. Like 3 times. And then he was like, nah.
We been discrediting. Maybe he had 30 at once too. You know?
But the biggest part is like, that's a big part of his legend to people like me. I didn't watch Wilt play. Like that was way before my time. But obviously like with, older thing and growing up as a Laker fan and stuff like that, you kind of know, and just a basketball, student, like, who Wilt Chamberlain is. And that's one of the little bullet points is like, oh, he ran through 20,000 hoes. But then when you're watching, he's like, that all came from like a joke, like on some late night shit.
Oh, it's not real.
It's not real. But
that's a lot. I mean,
and the thing is, like, he couldn't even correct it because they just ran with it, and he was just like, man. Don't get him wrong though. He was out here. He was outside for a long time, but yeah, 20,000 is kind of crazy.
So I was just funny you said that because when I said that tell all, like that dude that like likes to police old girl, they said he ran through like 5,000 women, but he had a book.
5,000 seems
and
more
he had a
doable.
grading system. Like he was like, yo, like, oh, she was pretty.
Shit. And when how old was I? 21, 22? And then my man's, he'd fuck anything with a pulse. But he was in like the late triple digits at like 20. And I'm like, dog, what are you doing?
Late triple digits, like 900?
Oh yeah, that does sound like, my bad. I'm at like late, like
hundreds?
Like almost 200.
Oh, okay.
And I'm sitting here, I'm like, yo, I'll be outside.
Wait, how old were you at this time when you found out?
We had to be 2021.
Oh yeah, that's kind of crazy.
And I'm like, dog, like, all right.
Are you talking about a man that's locked up state?
He out now.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
He been he been replying to my stories and shit.
Y'all cool now?
Nah.
Oh man, I didn't know he was back, bro. I could have sworn. Damn, when did I look that up? That's crazy. You know what though? If that's the same guy we talk about, I've seen him move.
I do. He'll shoot at anything.
I believe his numbers. No. There's some low keys that like randomly that I've got follows on like in 6-7 years or whatever, and he's there.
I thought he was getting domed up by a man in my garage.
That might be too. like when you live like that, like the normal shit don't work for you no more.
He just be doing shit just to do it.
Yeah.
Because when I rolled up,
look, we killed women earlier. We're killing men now. Let's go ahead.
When I rolled up to the specific thing and to my garage and I saw it happening, he was on his phone like nothing was going on. I was like, why are you wasting everybody's time? It don't even seem like you care, right? And then he pops out the garage like, oh shit. Hey, you want some? I'm like, I'm straight,
like
dog.
Wait, why did he ask you like you was at Royal Mandarin, like you wanted some chicken real quick? Hey, you want some of this? We good? Like,
and unfortunately, I was around a lot of people. I was in that situation way more than once.
Then when I believe him though. He's
no. But
he's infant. You know
but
what
when
he did?
She stepped out, because he's probably like maybe 5'8", 5'7", like average dude height. She was like my height, and I'm skinny. She was skinnier than me.
For real.
And she had like this like dude swagger about her too. And I was like, yo, I'm straight. Thanks for the offer. Like, I'm cool. Like, I'm good. and then she just, and he's like, all right, I'll get with you. And she just walked up the street.
But he benefited off of social media and infiltrating like
but
the ones that you would normally find.
But this was like 07, 08.
MySpace. Like,
yeah,
come on, like MySpace, bro. And MySpace was based off of if you got to somebody else's page or whatever, you could find a few other people from that school.
But see, all right, back in like 03, between 03 and 06, I guess MySpace was still kind of out too. My mans used to have a standing appointment every Tuesday to where they go back to his house, and it was him and his mans and this one girl. They go back to the house, and then they called it. It was just like the Tuesday appointment.
See,
and then they're like, "Yo, you trying to get down?" I'm like, "I'm good, I'm good." And this is like they walking home. This had to be like, this started earlier then, because I feel like they was walking home from Bell.
What's crazy is, though, you were telling me that he was in the high twos. Now, I know he spent some time being married, but he was still getting active, which is why they weren't married anymore.
Yeah.
But he's probably in the 400s or 500s now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying
as a regular dude.
At least, yeah.
If you're a celebrity.
But the way he carries himself, though, like that is what women find to be appealing, though. Certain women, right? Like the way he carries himself, like with such confidence. If we weed through the bullshit because we just know the situation and everything, it's so funny because even now when I think about it, right, like he's been here and everything, but like I've seen like how he like carries himself though. You would just believe him.
I don't see how anybody would find that attractive. Where it's like, yo, if you tell me you in the 400s or 500s, I'm naturally assuming, damn, you got a lot of fucking lonely late nighters you ain't telling nobody about.
Yeah, because like, but some people would get mad. Like if you said like, my number's 12, but if I'm 34 years old, if that's like 2 a 12, year, and I've never been married, and I don't have any kids. That's what I'm saying, right? That's kind of like
some of the people I know. Like if you hit me with like a 12 to 15, I'm like, yeah, because I like, and I see the quality of women you with. I'm like, plus as you old, I think when you super young. It's a really, really young person mentality to really care about who somebody else is fucking. I don't know. If
somebody told me 5,000, I'd be like, yo, look, you going to get your...
I'm saying like to care about who somebody else is fucking, right?
Oh, okay,
like,
yes.
So like that's why dudes, when you're young, like they lay on they like you lie on your dick. Like, oh yeah, I fucked her. And it's like, why? Like, what is the need to lie about that for? Like, I never understood it. To where it's like, oh,
because that means something to
because
men.
Back then, when you younger, it's like, oh, it's cool because he out here, you know, he fucked 20 girls already.
But from a young age, I don't know. Maybe that's just like a stupidity thing, or maybe like I've always wanted to be a standout in that fashion. But as a young dude, I never thought that shit was tight. Like to walk around saying that shit, like yo.
No,
like
I'm saying if it's you, whatever. But
it was cool to say it to the homie, like one friend. But to go around,
if your number is that high, I assume the quality is a lot lower.
Oh yeah.
You might have a couple in there that are like, oh yeah, she was the one, but for the most part, I'm not bragging on. Like, I'm not even count. There's some numbers I don't count.
Yeah, especially
I only count when I got to do the walk of shame with the homies. Like, oh, you know what?
Shout out to the Arkansas listeners, but if you're in Arkansas getting that off, I'd be like, look, man, I know that California has like been voted having the most beautiful women, right? And I know in terms of like all women. Now you go down south and shit like that, or to the East Coast, there's more black people or whatever. We can start debating those other states, but I'm saying amongst all women, right? So with that being said, because Arkansas white and like or like down south, deep Alabama white, I don't care about none of these places, so I'm never gonna go there. But like they can't compare to the whites that we probably have here in California. If you decide to, venture over to the pink tone.
Are we only talking about white women?
I'm just using that. But I just said blacks might be, but we're only 5% here, bro. That's why like when people be like, oh, you don't date no black women here. I'm like, yeah, but it's not that like 5%. And then let's say if I have like prerequisites that you have to.
Your big prerequisite is insurance.
That or like being college educated, that lowers the pool at 5%. Right, so I'm just saying, like maybe I can find someone. Maybe I should have went to historically black college. I'm just saying, I'm providing context as to why people say certain things. My dad's not even from here; he's from Atlanta. You know what I mean? So it's like my mom found somebody who's not even from California. You know what I mean? Like my uncle's not from here.
Well, a lot of California women love non-California dudes.
That's true, and the military dudes they be winning at a certain age. Like you can't compete with that when they come back and he's all he could be. Like it's a show not to watch, but you're gonna watch it anyway because there ain't shit else. I saw the Cat Williams interview in whole, and I go front like after seeing Lift with Kevin Hart on Netflix, I'm starting to think a lot of this shit is true. Even your man's Chris Tucker.
He's in that movie?
No, he admitted to like, oh, I was on a jet with Epstein, but we was doing a humanitarian effort, right? there's a lot of things that I've noticed that Cat said where I'd be like, you know what? Like, this movie is a money grab. It's like a fake Ocean's 11 like type thing, but it's like corny a little bit.
The thing, I'm not going to put that on Kevin though, because Kevin, we're not going to understand it because we can't understand that level of celebrity, that level of brand, right? Comedy is at least stand-up comedy is a raw form of comedy, right?
Right.
You can't go in there all like family friendly and at least expect to be that successful. And to me, there's family friendly comics that are successful, make a living, got bread, whatever. But I'm talking about to be like a true GOAT of like stand-up comedy.
You have to be able to encompass all things.
You're not going to be sitting here getting Coca-Cola deals and shit like that.
Right.
For the most part. And Kev got so big. Yeah, so he's pushing shit forward, right? He's selling out football stadiums. He's grossing the most. He's doing whatever, but it's like he's doing that off of his name to where he's like, yeah, I'm taking it to the movies. And you get so big to where you have to fit everybody under your umbrella and not just whatever niche you came up with, that you start caring more. And when you have to make everybody happy, nobody's going to be happy. If that makes sense. So
this
is
another plain movie.
He'll make a family friendly movie and the kids can watch it or whatever, but it's not going to be good. It's probably not going to be that funny.
This is not even a funny movie. It's considered
a drama.
Well, one is PG-13. It's probably action because of.
But that's his lane. His lane is going to be comedies or action. Action movies because action movies gross the most money out of all of them,
right?
I believe.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like maybe I'm just from a different era where I'd be like, yo, my shit got to be like Die Hard or something. You know what I mean? Or like, I don't know. Even Rush Hour to me was shot pretty well, like in terms of the storyline wise, right? Like the storyline was like something that you never grew tiresome of. I feel like he could just do better,
I mean, yeah, but also he's been relatively quiet for some years. Like Kev ain't been outside the way he was outside to where he's trying to vamp back up. He's still been doing shit, obviously, but like for Kevin Hart, he's been quiet.
I don't think he has to move as much as he used to now. Like he's already cemented.
I don't think he should.
And hanging out with his family.
I just think, not. But that's what I'm saying.
How we had a kid.
We don't understand it because we're thinking of him as an individual,
right?
And as a brand, right? But it's also like, yo, I have to stay at this level because I take care of way too many people.
Yeah, but what's the last Kevin Hart action/comedy movie that you enjoyed? I can imagine that you would say none of them have been great to you.
I haven't enjoyed I think the majority of Kevin Hart stuff I haven't enjoyed at this point.
Right.
But like,
I respect him.
I also know he hasn't gone his whole career with me not liking anything. Like some people have this all or nothing mentality. Like Kev's never been funny. That's just not true.
Yeah, that's not true.
His first 2 or 3 stand-ups I thought were pretty high quality.
Even Soul Plane, he wasn't that funny, but the movie was funny. Like there was parts in there that I thought was hilarious. Snoop was in there too.
I thought his cameo in 40-Year-Old Virgin was good, but I'm not gonna put that on him because he only had that little 2-minute bit.
What was the one where he was Big Mitchum? That one was funny too, but that was a while back. What was the name?
And
of
he
that?
got any movie where he's in the lead. I don't know if I fucked with like that. What happened About Last Night was pretty good.
You gonna make me do it.
It's just
The Wedding Ringer. That was a long time ago though.
Yeah. But that's not even that. I wouldn't even put that on him. That's Adam Sandler. Isn't it? No, that's The Wedding Singer, my bad.
The Wedding Ringer is the one where he was like
Yeah.
It was basically their knockoff of Hitch.
Yeah.
Damn, see what the fact that I can tell you that's how I can describe it is like, yo, that's crazy to me.
Yeah, I just think he got too busy and too big to really be that funny.
Or be original. You know what I mean? It seems like it's almost like,
And that's why, see, the thing with Dave, he only focuses on stand-up. So he can be at that level and be that funny because that's all he cares about.
He also has
Cat's been blackballed enough to where he's talented enough to where he's like, hey, he can still be that funny because he ain't got no choice.
Right. Yeah, that's the only way
He's not getting no brand deals.
But if he'll get another stand up though.
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely. He keep getting those. So, and we'll keep watching it.
But that's the thing. We're talking about Kevin as movie choices.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, everyone sticks in their own lane. All I'm saying is that I can understand it now. It was something that I wasn't keen to. I don't even know if a keen is a word. A-K-E-E-N.
I think you just take the A off. And you should.
Yeah. Keen is crazy. Oh, shit.
Keen Olajuwon.
Last thing I wanted to talk about, hit my hand claps. We'll go to current stuff going on. I'm keep saving these fun facts. I thought that you would be interested in this partly because, you know, it was part of the culture. But I had saw an article in The Atlantic, I believe, that said the downfall of the Jordan brand. And what was crazy in the article, I'll read it, but I'll get to this excerpt of like the main premise of the article. But, you know, when Jordan came out, he had the shoe, and he had this tradition where there was like, I want to say like somebody who was in the front office at the Bulls. Every time they won a championship, he would sign the shoe or whatever, and he would give it to him. I believe that man is now deceased, but like he has all of Jordan's game, you know, like ending game shoes signed. And so they're going up for sale this year. I think it's only like the second time in like the last 30 years that that they've had an auction item like to this magnitude, right? And so they were talking about like when he came back in the Concord 11s, those shoes had like they had significance because those were the shoes that he wore when he came back from baseball to play basketball. They were talking about like how the pandemic, where people were just sitting at home, weren't doing anything. And they started buying Jordans again. Jordan 1s became popular, right? They were giving different instances of when like Jordan like had a respike, right? And so now what they were saying is that we're getting so far away from Jordan as the player, and even in fashion, 30-year run for shoes, there's not too many people that have a run like that. As a matter of fact, he's probably the only one besides like the Air Force One, but even then,
shit, it's pretty much a 40-year run at this point.
Yeah. And what other shoe do you know has been that popular for 40 years or that collection of shoes, right? So he's the only one to do it. So there's a growing dichotomy in how different generations understand Jordan brand. Somebody who is 18 years old doesn't know the brand because MJ laced up the Concord 11s when he came back to the NBA. They know the brand because Jordan shoes have recently sold out or have otherwise been very hard to buy. In other words, young people know Jordan shoes. They know the formerly elegant Jumpman logo, but they may not know much about the man himself. If the brand is going to capture a new generation, it will need to put out fresh products. They can't keep leaning on the same old Jordans from the past. And the hard part is that I think they can is just select shoes. Like the ones are popular again right now, but the 2s, the 3s, the 4s, and 5s, the big bulkier shoes that came later on, until you get about to 11s and the 13s, like most people aren't going to wear. They're going to wear the ones that they thought were maybe the most fire. But I always think back when, I don't know if it was you, because I don't want to throw this on your kids or whatever, but like somebody had told me that they thought Michael Jordan was a fashion designer.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't that. I think that was someone else that said fashion designer, but G did say, do you know who Michael Jordan is? Oh, he makes all my shoes.
There we go. That's what it is. I said fashion designer, same thing.
But that's the thing, like, that's kind of rebranded. That's why he's been able to sustain, because we know him as a player, and then even then, like, we missed a chunk of his career when we really come to. And then it's like the kids after that, they don't care about the player, but they're also a different mind state. They care about the exclusivity. Oh shit, I gotta camp out for these?
Yeah.
I want to be a part of that.
Right.
And then enough people do that, it's like, that's gonna carry you on another decade.
I've always said that he made shoes that go with jeans. No, I'm serious. Like jeans, shorts, like he had a shoe to go with everything, right? And that's the beauty of it. God rest his soul. There's not too many Kobe's that I know that go with jeans. Though.
Basketball shoes in general with jeans is kind of crazy.
Now, like the way that they look now, yeah, they look like running. It's like wearing running shoes with jeans. You know what I mean? Like that's what they kind of look like now. But like they Nike, those guys who designed it, those shoes are not designed to play hoop in either. Like whoever hooped in those,
out here from the free throw line.
The fives, I had them on yesterday. They was heavy. I had some great fives.
Those first couple LeBrons, them shits was bricks.
Yeah. They don't go with jeans either though. They started.
But I'm like, if you would have gave him like those first D Roses, those clouds.
Yeah.
Those things were so fucking light. You would have gave an 18-year-old LeBron those.
He would have been.
He would have been touching the top of the shot clock.
But all those shoes, the Hardaways, the foam posits, like those all go. They
Chuck Taylors.
Oh yeah, those all go with you. You're right though. I thought you was being funny, but you are. But you're also serious because those go with jeans, right? And so I would argue that like if they after you get past the 14s and the 15s and the Jordans, because I think they go up to like 20 something or even in the 30s, they don't go with jeans anymore. They look kind of crazy. You remember the ones that used to strap around the ankles? Those Jordans? That's like I think 17 or something like that.
I'm not good at Jordan numbers.
Yeah, once you see the strapped around the ankle joints, you'll know what I'm talking about. But even though they're saying that like you're watching the fall of it, it's not like it's down or like the stock is bottoming out. Like Jordan 1s are still just as popular now as it was back then.
As they should be.
But I think that they're saying the brand as a whole, they can't just keep relying on.
Well, yeah, but.
Because we're not wearing them. Like, I got on Vans, man. Like, I wear Vans now. Like it's a cheaper shoe. That's the other thing, too. Like, at $180 a pop, bro, like, I could just tell you so many more things I can get for $180.
Come back in a different way. The same way fucking Air Force Ones come back all the time.
Yeah, but the problem is that, like, there was a time period, maybe, that you, a person like us in our demographic, will go out and buy Jordans, right? It's no longer important to us at the price point that they're at, too, is what I would argue.
Yeah.
You know, like you've had some or whatever, but someone else got them for you. You know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, because our generation was doing it because we wanted it. We're in that transitional period of we know Jordan the player and the shoes are fire. That's now transitioned to, oh, these shoes are fucking hard to get. That's all I need.
Yeah.
And that'll carry the brand.
Yeah.
Now, eventually they'll probably need something else because maybe you can only carry that shit so long. But for now on, just exclusivity. Being hard to get and rare or whatever and them drops, that'll carry you enough. Get you some new color waves. I remember when the Space Jams came out. I was like, oh. I don't really care enough, but I was like, those are hard.
I mean, I don't know. I sold a lot of my Jordans. I gave them away. My cousin fucked them.
But that's just a different mentality because not just that, but it's also like you're at an age where you're like, yo, I don't care about this no more.
Well, yeah, but the quality of the shoe, we can speak to that too. The quality of the shoes I got pairs right now that I've probably worn under 50 times and cleaned them every single time that are just falling apart. Like I looked at my grade 5s, I was like, yo, I haven't pulled these out the box in 3 years. Why is the mesh on the other side breaking away now? Like, that don't make no sense. I haven't been heavy with the brush on them either. They start yellowing. So it's like, yo, the air gets to it no matter what. No pun intended. But, like, I'm buying something that no longer has any value unless I put it in an air shut case. And it's like, well, shit, I'm not a collector like that. I want people to know I got it. I ain't gonna lie. That's why we wear chains. I want people to know I got it. I made it. That's what it is. That's what it. I want people to know I got it. I got it going. So anyway, hit my hand class, man. We do a 3 cheers, man. I know that they did a little wave with this, but I think that, one, they've had a rough year, just in terms of players. And then one player, I mean, just because of like playing and one player, but the Warriors have been having a tough year, like on all fronts, like to the point where I was just like, you know what? Like this was a team that I loved to hate on, 4 or 5 years back, consistently, but they've had some tough shit going on, man. Rest in peace to Dahan Milosevic. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Don't judge me. I'm not from Eastern European, so my tongue just don't roll like that. But yeah, man, they said that my man passed away at a team dinner, and I was like, yo, that's kind of rough to come back to go to work on that. Like that's like God rest her soul, Miss Rhonda. You know what I mean? Like it was hard for me to come back to work knowing that she would be there. So the human side of me says that even though these are NBA teams and we talk shit and stuff like that for our entertainment, that doesn't mean that they don't go through and see real things, so rest in peace to him.
Yeah. I'm going to give 3 cheers to anybody who came out to that marathon. Not just for me. I mean, shout out to my village. Shout out to Sal and Beatrice making me do it, all that. But, yeah, I wouldn't have ran it that fast if it wasn't for all the people out there just making noise or encouragement or the signs or whatever. And people was getting real creative with the signs, like telling their boyfriend to hurry up so they can go drink.
Yeah.
Someone said, don't trust a fart after mile 9. And then there was like, this dude had a Rams jersey on. And he was like, and I was running with him when we passed his people. And they were like, yo, the game's at 1.
Right.
And they were just like, and all that shit really just keeps you going. Like, or at least me, maybe not everybody, but I feel like if you have any competitive spirit, that's the type of like that crowd reaction shit kind of gets you. So shout out to them.
It's been 20 years that you've probably had something like that, aside from maybe a pickup game.
I don't know about 20 years. Oh, you mean like nah.
Where have you been in the atmosphere like that?
I mean, I've been in adult league atmosphere like that.
That's not the same because there's only wives there.
Nah, I mean, I did little competitive shit like on the ship. There was like big crowds there watching us.
Nah, you missing what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you had to train for something for that moment. You know what I mean? Like that's why I play the tournament sometimes. Like when I call the pods, I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna do that. I need to be in a competitive atmosphere.
Yeah, but I guess I didn't think of it as I didn't train too hard. So I don't know if I give it full fledged that I'll think about that.
Right.
I'm just talking about the atmosphere.
Right. No, that's what I'm speaking to. I'm happy for you, man. Look, man. Look, don't you leave. Yeah, it ain't time for you to go. I need to see these photos. Go ahead and get them ready after the music.
I don't know if I didn't delete them.
You delete them for us. See, such man.
Once I hit the story.
My wife asked me, why you delete shit? Because I ain't got no space.
Once I hit the story, I'm not paying $1.99 for no storage.
Oh, man. You tripping. I pay that 99 cents for the unlimited joint. Yeah. They ain't going to get me no more. That's cool. They going to get me with a bigger phone, too. We keep doing these pods. So I'm going to need a bigger one. All right. We out of here, man.